If you want to understand the future of a given industry, you need to look at the up-and-coming privately held companies. That means you can't buy their stock yet, that are changing the ways the business works. That's why I keep coming back to the CNBC Disruptor 50 list of super innovative private companies. And coming in at number 33 on that list is, for 2015, is Klarna, K-L-A-R-N-A, the rapidly growing Swedish e-commerce payment facilitator. Klarna's platform is more than just about online payments. Their goal is to simplify the whole online checkout process that many people are baffled by. Basically, online merchants outsource their checkout system to Klarna. You don't know it's Klarna's, which is its own simple and easy-to-use system that accepts all major credit cards. Now, Klarna has already taken Europe by storm, and the company's begun to move into the more crowded U.S. market. Can Klarna take over the world of online payments? Let's check in with Brian Billingsley, Klarna's North American CEO, to find out. Mr. Billingsley, welcome to Mad Money.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Have a
so
seat.
Excited
Have a
to be
seat.
here.
So, do you think that many of us have used Klarna yet without even knowing that we were on Klarna's system?
Yeah, unless you've shopped in a few companies in Nordics or in Europe, you probably haven't used it yet. Okay. But in the next 6 months, I believe most of you will have used it.
And that's because a lot of companies have found that it's their online current edition is frustrating, and customers leave before they've finished the transaction. You guys offer an alternative?
That's absolutely right. So online, can you imagine if you put it in a brick and mortar scenario where 85 to 90% of your customers that go up to the counter with goods in their basket, just throw the stuff on the counter and walk away. And that's what happens online and in mobile. And so what we do is we take all the friction out of that checkout experience. So when you see you have the product in your basket and you go to make the purchase and you see these 40 fields, name, address, billing address.
How do we stop that?
Mother's maiden name, passwords. We reduce that to a single click.
Well, I got to tell you, I think, because I read the statistics of how many people don't do it. Frankly, I mean, I don't know why they ask all that stuff, but I have to tell you, about half the time I missed a required field.
Exactly.
Is it like required field with Klarna?
No, absolutely. So the first time, if the first time you check out with Klarna and we don't know who you are, the merchant can't hand us data, or we can't access a third-party data source, the most you'll have to enter is your name, your zip code, your email, and your billing address. That's it.
And that's because you have done enough work and study on people from public stuff. You have algorithms that know about people.
That's right. And then the next time back on either a desktop or a mobile device, it's just one tap.
Geez, well, wouldn't it, in everybody's interest in omnichannel, to just sign up with Klarna? You probably save them money.
No, absolutely. And because our checkout experience is very dynamic. So if you just have a pair of socks in the checkout, it's $10. You just want to check out and move on to the next thing. If you've got a $500 product or a $1,000 product in the basket, consumers aren't just going to hit buy. So at that point, we also issue credit and can show people the different options. Hey, you can pay with a credit card, or you can break it up into installments, 10 easy payments of X.
No, when I saw that you could do that, I mean, how do you know that people aren't deadbeats?
Yeah, so I think that's really Klarna's secret sauce, where again, the checkout is dynamic. So even if we've seen you before and you're even buying a product, because we get even the SKU level data on each transaction. So we even know, hey, there's never been fraud on an art history book purchased at 2 p.m. Right. That's what our algorithm does. And so it's not just who you are, which even though it's a big part of it, it's past purchase history and what you're buying that plays into those risk models.
When I was thinking about it, I was thinking, okay, what would be the objection? I'm a major department store chain. You come in. What did they say about why they shouldn't use? Like, what's their reason for not using you? Because I can't think of one.
No, I'd say the only hesitation is, one, we're new and we haven't been in the U.S. yet. But I think we can point to a lot of U.S. companies that already use us in Europe, because we can show them that we can increase their conversion 30, 40, 50, sometimes 70%, and we guarantee the payments. So as soon as that consumer hits buy, Klarna takes the full risk. Even if something slips through the crack and there's a chargeback or a fraud, that's all on Klarna, and the merchant doesn't have to worry about it.
No, I would presume that this isn't just for little merchants. Like, a big nationwide merchant would really want to. You can offer a very good value proposition.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's the great thing about the simplicity of the Klarna checkout solution. It works for very small merchants on e-commerce platforms. It also works for some of the, we work with some of the biggest merchants in Europe right now, and it works great for both.
Well, I think that a lot of people will watch and say, well, hold on, where did this guy come from? You were a very important person at a company that we like very much, Alliance Data, and you've got people from PayPal and people who used to be at Apple. You have a lot. Just tell people that it's not just, Klarna's not just a bunch of kids out in a basement.
No, absolutely. So Klarna's been around for 10 years. It's 1,200 people. We serve 50,000 merchants in Europe. And we've been able to really build a dream team here in the U.S. because, like me, they see the vision of what Klarna can be and just want to be part of this great rocket ship.
No, I think Amazon itself is not necessarily a target because they love theirs. But do you think that this could put some merchants on par with Amazon? Because many of them are really just too hard to deal with.
That's the goal. I mean, that's why I'm a big Amazon Prime user. It's so easy, from diapers to a toothbrush. It's just one click.
Yeah.
And so for every other merchant, we can turn that buying experience to a one-click checkout experience. Even if the merchant has no idea who that consumer is on their website, we can treat them like they're an Amazon Prime customer with a one-tap checkout.
How many of the people, when you go in initially, have heard of Klarna? Is it just a hard selling proposition?
It's really not. I mean, to be able to go in, because most of these merchants are seeing their overall mobile web traffic is like 60 to 70% of their traffic,
right,
and their conversion is going down already.
I know.
Yeah, so even most senior VPs of e-commerce have heard of us, but once you tell the conversion story, kind of everything's out the window and they're all ears.
Well, that's terrific. You've got a great story, Brian. That's Brian Billingsley, Klarna North American CEO, one of our disruptors. Stick with Cramer. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.